Oh, guys, check it out. Look what showed up. Look what I came home a day early from vacation to bring you guys. The brand new Team Corrali Shiroi. I think that's how you say it. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and check it out. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know how we do it here. I'm a veteran of the United States Army. I take my word as a veteran serious, and I take the reputation of my channel serious. So I'm going to give you a no BS review of this RC. Now, I do work with Team Corrali. I do get this at a discount. It wasn't provided for free. Maybe one day, but I did purchase this. You know, I did get a little discount on it, so thank you Team Corrali for working with me, but that's not going to sway my opinion on this any way, shape, or form. So that being said, let's thank Team Corrali too for stepping outside their comfort zone. Now, they're known in Europe as a very successful race team, and they make very good excellent race buggies and things like that, and we know them here in the States for their, you know, the Kagama and the Synchro 4, stuff like that. And one of my favorites, the Asuga, which again is kind of thinking outside the box, big oversized buggy, but they've kind of stayed there. Now, boy, they're attacking. They're going after one of the favorite RCs out there, the Arma Mojave. So, ooh, how will this compare? So let's just go ahead and take a look at them. And guys, I'm working on a new shop. I'm working on getting this one kind of extended out so I can have better angles to view. What I'm hoping is that I'll be standing back here behind the box and present it to you, because this is just a little too big for what I have set up here. But I do want to try to show you the box the best that I can here. Oh, dude, this thing is heavy and I'm knocking stuff everywhere. Alright, so not much here. Ready to run, 4-wheel drive, 62 miles an hour. We will be testing that. There's your colors, red, green, blue. Comes in roller and completely ready to run. So we have 16mm big bore shocks, which also have 4mm thick shock pistons inside. Huge shock pistons, so you know if you've ever taken a hard landing, something really fast, and broke a piston. So these are really strong. They're also tuned for this RC, and also feature a heavy-duty ends to try to keep this thing from breaking. Oversized heavy-duty composite suspension arms with aluminum anti-tear rings. This is another signature thing with Team Corrali, are these red aluminum pieces that you'll find all over, especially in the chassis where the screws go in. Just that extra added reinforcement to make sure stuff doesn't break. You know, they do their best to make sure parts don't break. Extreme hybrid chassis brace system, front and rear. So 2 mounting points here, looks like 1, maybe 2 there. Then these go to the shock towers and then around the center diff. Makes it a little difficult to work on the center diff, but it seems to be a pretty good system. And then we have oversized HD composite pillow ball style steering hubs, CNC match 8mm aluminum suspension holders, so that's your hinge pin blocks. Huge 8mm blocks, so good luck trying to break that. Also, high performance differentials with CNC machine steel gear. So that's one thing that you generally don't see when you look at these things, is the details that are inside with the fine craftsmanship of CNC machining the gears in here. And another signature thing with Team Corrali are these spring steel drive cups. So basically, if these things warp out of shape, the spring steel has a memory and it should go back. So if you start stretching these drive cups out, they should technically go back. And I've never had one fail on me. Not saying that they can't, but I've never had one. And extreme CVD drive shafts with the aluminum safety pin cap. So that's interesting. Let me take a look at that. Standard ready to run transmitter. Nothing to write home about, but here we have a 4-pole 2050 4-6S centerless brushless motor. Now, from best that I can tell by looking at the specs, because I don't see this written anywhere, this should be a 4174. That's a huge motor. And then we got the Torx 185 sensorless ESC, 150 amp continuous. It is 6S HVBEC, not sure what that means. Programmable, because this is basically a hobby wing. And then we do have a 25 kilogram Metal Gear servo. And let's open this thing up, see what's inside. Oh boy, look at that beast. Look at that thing. One transmitter, CT2R. So, nothing fancy. It feels like I don't really care for these holes here. It feels kind of weird. But other than that, I mean, it fits the hand pretty good. I appreciate the foam grip. That's very nice. So, we have a steering trim, a throttle trim for some reason, and a steering dual rate. And we have a way to reverse either servo. And I say that because, you know, with an electronic ESC, you don't need to adjust it. So we do get a transmitter and key strap here. Wow, big carabinger there. I'm not even sure if there's a place to hook it on this thing. Yeah, I don't even see a place to hook it onto this transmitter, but talking to the guys at Corrali, like they said, transmitters are a very personal thing. They really don't expect you to keep that thing. They expect people to have nicer transmitters. But to be ready to run, there you go. That'll get the job done. Here's something I haven't seen from Corrali before. It looks like a speed pinion's included. We have a bind plug and a little antenna tube and a cap for the antenna tube. Manual for the transmitter. Manual for the ESC in proper English. And the instruction manual. Let's check it out here. Corrali usually does a pretty good job with this. Oh, that's beautiful, man. We even have pictures in here of all the parts. I like this. It breaks down each and every part like that and gives you a part number. And then, if I remember correctly here, we should have some instructions here. So here's that double deck plate that we were talking about. Where did I see this before? What was the Valkyrie? I think had that set up. Yeah. So here we go. This is really nice too. I like this. That we get these big blown up diagrams. So yeah, here's everything. They even, like here, fill to 75%. They tell you what fluid to put in. And then even right here, what's really cool is like you have here for off-road bashing factory, they'll tell you what diff fluids they recommend. So that kind of takes some of the guesswork out of it when you're trying to tune. Same thing with the shocks here. Soft, medium, hard springs. They also give you instructions on how to fill them, how to bleed them, and all that good stuff. So lots of good stuff here. Also, Team Corrali, our friend Lucas puts a lot of time into the one-page manuals. It's an online tutorial on how to do everything. Really good information. So if you're buying this or any Team Corrali, check out the one-page guides. Let's check this out here. Look at that. So interesting color combo between orange and blue. And I'm not sure what Shiroi actually means. I need to talk to our friend Lucas over there and see what this means, anything that stands for anything here. But this body's got some good weight to it. We got the drivers that are in here. As you can see, it looks pretty decent. Nice, we have roof skids over here. We also have these things that look pretty cool. Body feels nice and rigid. I really appreciate the tethers. This is one of the few companies that make sure they tether their body pins. I would like to see them start trying a clipless system. But for now, if you're going to give us clips, I like that these are large. They're kind of bent up at the ends, so they're easy to get out. And we have tethers. So, not too bad looking. So we do actually get serrated wheel nuts. That's something that Team Corrali has not done a whole lot in the past. And these wheels actually popped off fairly easily. That's also been kind of another issue. Some of the finish work where the wheels were just kind of tight and they were very hard to get off. So these are vented on the inside. So not a lot of cushion there. Must be something inside the wheel that we can't see because there's just a little bit of movement. Not quite to where... So there is something hard inside. rubber feels kind of soft, but not super soft. So I think this feels like it should do good, like maybe drifting around a parking lot. So these are mud claws, and I don't see any direction listed on them. We're looking at a 3mm thick CNC machined chassis here. Not sure the grade of aluminum. They don't post it here or online. But as we expect with a major brand like this, Hex Hardware, look at the size of the skid plates on this. It's another thing that they're really good for. And this also makes servicing the differentials really easy on anything Team Corrali. Man, look at the size of these control arms. They are freaking massive, and they're fully captured right here. Got a nut and bolt going all the way through here, and then these massive hinge pin blocks. Holy, this thing is freaking built. I'll tell you what, that is impressive. And then again, right here, see these red screws. See all the red here. These are extra pieces here to help with the rigidity, so that way like these screws don't pull out of the plastic. Just beautiful little touches that Team Corrali does to make the vehicle that much more. Upper and lower control arms here in the front, and a fixed steering linkage. Aluminum big bore shocks over here. We've already discussed the 4mm thick pistons, and we also have front and rear anti-sway bars. Now the bumper feels a bit on the rigid side. This brace right here, everything here feels rigid. This is really flexible, but this is quite rigid, so that might be a problem, but we will see. We'll never just get, unless it breaks, you know, but I would like to see more flex in there, but if it doesn't break, then I guess it is all good. So here's our 4mm thick shock tower braces. The body mounts here have a good amount of flex. That's what we want to see, so it doesn't break when this thing will flip and roll over. Oh, look at the size of the springs. And I really appreciate what they do here is with over the shocks. They get these plastic protective covers that protect the metal caps in case anything, even though this is going to be completely protected, they still put the shock caps on here. And of course, I love the threaded shocks. That always just makes on-the-go tuning that much nicer. Here it is. That is a massive center brace. That is absolutely massive. So this, yeah, that's a composite material here, and it goes through, hooks to the brace here. So I do want to check one thing. They've always been good. They still doing it. They use these rubber O-rings to hold these pins in. I'd rather it just be like a regular like pin that locks in there and not these rubber O-rings. It is kind of a pain to deal with. I'm not a fan of that. But really nice. We got our on-off button that we should be able to reach with the body on. The torque speed control. Also not a fan of these caps being on the actual wires. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about these double connections. I'd really just rather see a single like 6S, just a single connector, so I could run a single 6S pack. I don't really need or want, but that's me. That's my opinion, my thoughts on things. So maybe yours differ. So let me know in the comments. Do you really find this necessary to do this, to run like 2 3S packs? Personally, I'd just rather run a 6, so we will be fixing that. So no fan on the motor. I would really like to see a fan on the motor. We get lots of high temps in here, especially, you know, with this thing being like a really sealed up buggy. So you can see we also have these like really high mud guards that are on here to help deflect any of the dirt. So I think even any of the cars that I have, being here in Florida, run hot, so I always put a fan on there, but I would like to see a fan on there. Also, again, right here it just says it's a 2050 kV. There is no size, but that is a big motor. That is pretty big. So what, based on their specs of it being like 41 millimeters wide, 74 long, we'll call it a 4174. Oh, look at that. Even here, the body shielding pieces have those metal cups around the piece. So look at that beautiful spring steel outdrives on the rear dog bones. And then we got our CVDs here in the front. Beautiful, guys, beautiful. This thing freaking looks like a damn tank. We do have a fixed control linkage here on the back. No upper control arm, which I do like to see control arms versus these linkages. I think it's a little stronger setup. But look at the bumper system on the back of this thing. Look at that. Is just freaking massive. That is just probably a bit overkill, but that's good. That is good. They are taking the bashability of this thing serious. I am impressed. And you also have adjustments here. So if you do want to adjust camber and all that, you can. Same thing here on the front. You can adjust these linkages, stuff like that. So freaking cool. So far, I'm impressed with what I see. This is very, very solid. So guys, you know the deal. I got a battery charged up. Technically, actually, in real life, I got to go back to the campground. I got to go retrieve the wife because she doesn't know how to drive the motorhome back. So I'm going to go drive another couple hours, go retrieve my wife and my motorhome. Then we'll be back around noon. We're going to go ahead and take this thing out. We're going to go ahead and speed test it, see if it meets that claim speed. And guys, always check your wheel nuts before you take anything out. Also, after the first run or so, double check them. Yeah, we're gonna set up the ramp. We're gonna jump it. We're gonna run it. Maybe this thing here will clear the Valley of Doom. It's a 6S. I think it should be able to do it. Although it is pretty. I hate to break it, but man, we'll test it. Wow, man, that suspension feels good. That is a lot. And it doesn't feel like the tires are going to hit. So that's a good thing. That's another problem we've had in the past with a lot of these vehicles, that the tires end up hitting. Look at that. Pushed all the way down and everything. Man, I think Team Corrali really did a great job putting this thing together. But the only way to truly tell is to go out there and run it. So I will see you out there. There we go. We got speed. Let's see what it will do. Okay. I will say one thing I don't like with this transmitter, by the on-off button being underneath that cover. It's just kind of a hassle. All right, we get. Wow. Whoa! Oh no! 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 Come on! Damn, this thing's got some power. Good grief. Might have to break these tires in a little bit. Wow. Ooh. Brakes come on pretty strong. Dude, that was one hell of a tumble. And look, oh, a couple of scratches there. That sucks. But let's try it again. Man, it is like all over the place. As soon as you give her the beans, man, it's wanting to come around. Probably really need to break in these tires a little bit. Ooh. Wow. This is going to be a challenge, you know. Let's see. Let's ease into it. I'm afraid of snapping the damn. Good grief, this thing's got power. I can't. Man, every time I start getting it, guys, remember, there's no gyro on this thing. Ooh, damn. Well, she upright. I think that's probably about as good as I'm gonna get. I got full throttle for a second. Yeah, see, it's just, wow, man, this thing, oh, wow. I'm not trying to break, oh, no, damn. The stuff I do to run a channel. 52, so I think they said something like almost 60. I really feel like it's got it in it. It's just, it's having a problem putting the power down. We'll try one more time. Got speed. I was gonna try to scuff up the tires here a little bit. Jeez. I think a gyro would definitely help in this situation. Probably need a little suspension work. It's floating so bad. Nope. Oh, come on. At least thankfully the self-righting system works. It keeps hitting up on his wheels. God, I think that's gonna be, I'm not trying to break this thing. Yeah, 49. It's got it in it. I really do feel like it can. So now we're gonna see what it will do in the dirt. Wow. Oh yeah, man, it's planted as anything in the dirt. Dirt is where it belongs. Look at this thing go. Whoa. It's a big RC. So far, man, it looks like it handles pretty good. Look at 47, almost as fast in the dirt than what I got on the street. So that tells you this thing, it probably does have 60 in it. I have no doubt in my mind. If you could keep this thing straight and not start wandering, it would do. I think a gyro would help. If I really wanted to do it, I would probably take a lot of the preload out of suspension and drop this thing down as low as possible. But as it comes out of the box, which is the whole point of the video, this is what we're getting. And I mean, I think it's just, the way it's set up now, it's really hard to get it go any faster. But whew, speed is not everything. This thing's got a lot of power, which is going to serve you well for doing various things. And with that comes speed, but sometimes, you know, in certain circumstances, that speed might exceed what the vehicle's really. But, I mean, look, 50 miles an hour in the dirt. Nothing to laugh at. Dude, this thing freaking takes off. Now, mind you, this is a short course truck. It does not have those like monster truck tires for great air control. So if you're looking to bash and do stuff like that, really I would look at the Kagama. That would be your best bet. Ooh, golly. That was like right on the friggin' front end. But I know people want to see these things jump, so I'm gonna put it through its paces, and whew, it does it beautifully. Air control is really not, you know, like I said, kind of there, and it's understandable. It's not designed for it. The tires don't expand, you know, like I said, the Kagama, really soft tires, they really expand well. What this thing is for is right here, ripping. and probably more ripping through like a dirt. We need to take this to the drift area next. I guarantee this thing is going to love that area. Wow, dude, the freaking power this thing has. That freaking looks so awesome. That looked like a real freaking truck coming. Oh no, 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 no. God, God. Oh, it did it so beautifully the first time. I think I was a little further over. Yeah. Oh, I love this size. This size RC to me is like perfect. This is... This is what I like. 6S is probably my favorite. I love the 8S, you know, the 5th scale, whatever you want to call it. I love that stuff, but it's freaking heavy, man. It takes its toll on this old bad back. Dude, wow. Well, I'm gonna say I think the old Mojave's got some competition. Oh no, 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 no! Oh God! Oh, sorry, truck. Oh, I'm really not trying to do that. Guys, if you ain't figured out, I am not that channel that sees how far an RC can fly. And comes out here and breaks. Sees how much stuff I can break. All right, guys, you know, on the box it said tuned suspension, and I believe it. I've pleasantly surprised. It's been a while since I've had an RC out of the box that I didn't immediately feel like, oh, it needs this, that, and the next thing. Woo! I think this thing is set up quite nice. It's not really, I don't think it's really liking this big hill too much. I think that front end's kind of catching on it. It's a steep incline. Ooh, yeah. See, this not really designed for the big air stuff, so yeah, there we go. Can it jump? Uh-oh. Did we do something here? I don't think. Oh. Damn, the damn battery thing came out. I will say the only thing that's bothering me right here is these pins are a little long, and what they're doing is they're hitting the body. So I wish either this was in more, these body posts were out just a little bit more. I might snip that pin so it doesn't hit as much. But as far as the battery thing, that's my fault. I should have secured it, should have used the battery straps to tie that down. But wow, guys, I am absolutely blown away with this. Here's kind of like my rough terrain, and wow, like, doesn't even bother. Brakes come on a tad strong, but we can dial that back with some tuning. I really do feel like it probably could use just a little gyro action, so I might put this on the Dumbo system, put a gyro in here. But other than that, I really can't think of anything that I don't like. Guys, you know, I've taken Team Corrali stuff out here before. I've had stuff break. I've shown it to you. I've picked out some things. You know, I do keep it honest, because no point in lying or fabricating. And I mean, some of the stuff's my opinion. I mean, somebody might drive this thing and not like it. I base my experience on, you know, having driven so many RCs at this point, getting a feel for what's out there and comparing this to other things that are on the market, and I am impressed. I think Team Corrali slowed down for a minute, really worked to make sure there were no issues with this one. It's just, good God, tremendous power. I think you could run this on 4S and be happy, honestly. 6S is just... So yeah, I think the Mojave's finally got some legit competition here. And that's really saying something. I mean, the Mojave's a well-loved machine, and it is a good RC. I have one. I really enjoy it, but wow. Guys, this one here is something else. Oh, let's not park in the fire ants. Wow, Team Corrali, all I can say is job well done. Like I mentioned before, not a fan of the transmitter, but when I talk to them, like I said, they really, because they have a great racing heritage, they're like, the transmitter is something personal that they really feel like should connect to the RC. So they give this to you if you want to use it, it's there. But I don't know, I don't care for the feel of it. But the RC as a whole, wow. Great job, Team Corrali, putting that together. I'm blown away. That is impressive. Just looking at it on the bench, at how overbuilt a lot of the components are. So I came out here and really kind of smashed it a little bit harder than I normally would. And those rolls at probably 50 miles an hour, the thing left the roadway and you saw it tumble. Nothing broke. There's no damage to the body, anything. That's saying a lot. That car took a couple of some serious tumbles. Landing it, jumping it here, hitting it into this concrete is, I mean, yeah, is not throwing it 50 feet in the air, but this hill is probably a good 5 feet up. So the RC's landing, it's coming down about 8 to 10 feet high, landing into this concrete. So it is a fairly tough test. That's why I do it. And the ramp, you know, it does jump pretty good. Like I said, it's not going to be your basher style because the small tires don't have that air control like that Kagama would have. So I would go that route. But this is amazing. The power that it has, the looks, how well built it is, all the extra little details like I mentioned earlier Team Corrali puts in. So very impressed. I will leave a link down below if you're interested in buying one of those RCs right there. And guys, I appreciate it. Check out the links down below. I have discount codes, other ways of helping the channel. If you shop Amazon, use my store, buy whatever you need, and just please use the store. Like A-Main Tower, all that stuff. Links are down below. Helps me buy the stuff. Like I said, Team Corrali works me. I get it at a discount. So that's a tremendous help. It really is. I appreciate them working with me to bring you this stuff. Guys, I am truly, honestly impressed with this RC. So it's been a heck of a day. Like I said, I came in last night, did the unbox. It's 4 in the afternoon or 5 now. Drove the RV home, loaded up with that, and I'm out here filming this. Try to get this out to you for Friday. It's Thursday right now. So I'm going to get home, got some editing to do. Appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. Like, shares, comments, appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't. Join us for these RC vehicle ventures. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.